Hi, guys. Bethany Perry, relationship coach here, checking in. I'm also a friend, a wife, a sister, a daughter. And in all these different roles that we play, there's a lot of room for conflict to come up. And it's really on my heart to speak with you guys about that today and give you a reframe that's possible for you to help you through that. So, I want to just question, and I'm sitting outside enjoying the end of my Monday, which has been very an exciting day today. We launched our Self-Love Revolution event. So selfloverevolutionday.com is available for you guys to check out if you're interested in that. And normal day-to-day stuff, I'm guessing a lot of you guys are finishing up your Monday. And what happened this weekend, and where are you in your life? And not to go on a tangent, it's interesting to kind of check in around all these different relationships that we have. We have all these different roles that we play in our lives. And when conflict comes up, it doesn't have to turn into drama. It doesn't have to turn into overwhelm. So I want to encourage you guys by challenging you to adopt an attitude of curiosity. Get curious, first of all, about yourself and why is this conflict bothering you or upsetting you, or what's getting triggered for you, and just get curious. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame the other person right off the bat, but just check in with yourself and see what's really going on. And then from there, a really easy step is to get curious about what kind of relationship do you have with this person. So if it's your significant other, you probably want it to be a high-level relationship versus if it's a coworker, you might be okay with it being an acquaintance. And getting in reality about what kind of relationship you have can really help you clarify the expectations you have of yourself and of the other person. And then maybe something that seemed really upsetting a few minutes ago won't actually have quite the same level of impact on your life. And if it does have more impact, here's how you can move forward. So there's really 3 levels of how we all show up in a relationship. And it's just like when you lose 5 pounds, you have to keep doing the same things that helped you lose that weight to stay there. And as I explain these 3 levels of a relationship, I want you to just keep that in mind, that we all can kind of flux, just like the scale changes every day. We move in and out of who we're being in a relationship, and how we're operating, as well as our partners and our friends and our family. They all do as well. So when you get curious about, am I at a level 1? And a level 1 relationship operates from a place where you are in that relationship really with your main intention being, what can I get out of this? So it's a very selfish place to be. And like I said, we all go there. We do it, our friends do it, our families do it, our partners do it, depending on what we're able to do in that moment. So if you get curious about, am I at a level 1? And I just want to encourage you guys to ask questions and interact with me on this. If you have anything that's coming up for you, I'm happy to support you. And replay viewers, if you're watching this, I do follow up with comments. But a level 1 relationship is where you're really more concerned about what you're getting from the relationship. And that doesn't work out very well for anybody. So hi, Elizabeth. Thank you for being here. As we look at how do we move to level 2, so let me tell you what level 2 is. And this is really exciting because it's fairly easy to go from level 1 to level 2. And level 2 relationships operate on a give and take, something along the lines of kind of like a tit for tat type thing. Like, well, if I do the dishes, you put them away. Or if I give you a ride here, you're going to give me gas money. Or if I am your coach, you're going to pay for my services. Like different levels that we operate in all areas of our lives, personally and professionally. And when you can really get curious about, if you're giving just so that you can get something back, you might be setting yourself up for disappointment. So if you're having conflict in your life or in your in an interaction with a coworker or any relationship you have in your life, really look at where are you operating, and then also check in on where are they operating from. And so to go from that awareness level, it's actually really exciting, because then you can be aware, oh, I'm feeling so disappointed and hurt right now because I was only doing that nice thing that I just did for somebody because I wanted to get something. Or maybe you can recognize that that's why they did something nice, is because they expected something back. And the next level, the third level, so this is a little harder to transition into than from the first level to the second level, but it's, again, curiosity is the first step. So if you're curious about how can I get more out of my relationships, how can I have less anxiety, how can I have more flow really in my life in all areas, you want to operate from the highest level and look at being on that third level where you're literally giving and loving in your life because it hurts you not to. So that comes from a very selfless place. Like we talked about, level 1 is you're only in it for what can you get, and this is the opposite of that. You're giving literally because that's who you are, and you've filled up your cup so much that you have a lot to give other people. And so when you get curious about getting to that third level, and there's lots of steps that can get there, there's lots of conversations we could have, but I think it's really exciting to know that curiosity is the first step. And if you can check in with yourself and clearly and honestly evaluate if you are operating in this relationship, how are you behaving? Because ultimately we can't control how other people act, but we can control how we act, what we say, what we do, all of those things. So it's really exciting to think about. You can literally choose, and it might not be easy, but you can choose to up-level yourself, and then the relationship and the interactions that you're having with whoever you're having a conflict will either go away, usually pretty quickly, either because you stop caring about them, not the person necessarily, but you stop caring about what's happening as much because you're seeing it from a higher perspective. Or that if it's something with your partner, they most likely will meet you where you are because that's the expectation that happens. So that third level of really getting to a place where you're curious enough to check in with yourself about how are you operating in your relationships, and then get yourself to the place where you're operating from the highest level, where you have to give, you have to love because it literally hurts you not to. And then trust that the other person will either show up and meet you there, and maybe they'll have some changes that happen as they get up to that level as well, or it won't be as much of a big deal in your life, and the conflict will not have the same power. Oh, there goes the dog. It will not have the same power over your emotions and how you're feeling in the moment. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Really, I had a conversation a while back with someone very dear to my heart, and they were struggling with this concept, and it felt like every time they brought up a certain topic, it turned into an argument. And I just wanted to share all these tips with you guys because if you have the courage to get curious and ask yourself where you are, ask yourself what you can do to get to a higher level, and then really just know that it's possible for that to happen, then that's the first step. So there's lots of other tips. I'm looking forward to sharing more with you guys along the road and throughout the week. And I think I need to go stop this dog from digging a ditch in the garden. But thank you guys for checking in. I'll look forward to comments below, and I will follow back up after the replay for any questions that you guys have. Okay, cheers. Bye.